All right, Richard, now that we have you here, I
Okay.
think you know
Yes.
it's time to play one of our favorite games on the jump. What were you thinking, Richard Jefferson? And this is where we will bring back some of your key moments.
Oh, well, you guys are so sweet.
They're not all highlights, I just
Look at
gotta
that
tell
mustache. Goodness gracious.
Richard Jefferson,
That
what were
that
you thinking?
That was honestly what was I thinking for retirement?
Well,
I was
yes.
I was trying to get Griff to pay me more money. They wanted me to come back on a minimum contract, and I was like, I
And
feel
it
like
worked.
it worked. They paid me more money, which ultimately led to me being out of here the following year.
Right.
By the way, that night when you said you were going to retire, I looked at you and I go, "You're not retiring."
No.
You meant it. You did mean it in the moment.
that moment, I was like, I'm done. Like, this was so stressful.
Right.
I wanted it so bad, and I can relate to all the guys that have worked their entire lives for
Right.
it. So at that moment, I was done. I was a stress ball. Losing in 2 finals, the national championship
Right.
game, bronze medal in the Olympics. I'd have enough competition in that moment.
Rachel, I gotta give him credit though. In the moment he was celebrating the greatest high of his life,
Yes.
he was starting his negotiation for his next contract.
Look, this
that,
man is a
ladies
pro.
and gentlemen,
This is a
a
veteran.
professional.
Thank you.
This is a
Thank
pro.
you.
All right,
Thank you.
next up. What were you thinking? Yes, the very next season, Richard Jefferson, when you, let's see, Christmas Day,
Oh.
little dunk on Klay Thompson.
You know
little
what I was
something,
at? What I was thinking was that Clay's my guy, so this is going to be a real fun conversation to have, right? So the next time we saw each other at the scorers table, oh, it was fun. Like, I had Clay as a rookie, had Draymond as a rookie, so anytime that I can get anything on these guys, it was so much fun. I saw him at Andre Iguodala's wedding, and just the laughs and the jokes that we always have together is all time.
He took a bit of a hard fall there, but you noticed he got right up and ran back because you were floating on air.
Oh, I was having a great time, especially after they called the technical earlier on me on that dunk. So this was kind of like my get back, and it just to have it happen against Clay. Like, people that know Clay, he's just like, dang it, right? Like, there's not a lot of emotion from it, and the fact it was on Christmas Day, that was a special moment because the Christmas Day the year before I actually got my first DMP.
Right.
So
Yeah, that's memorable. I
yeah,
remember
that's
that.
memorable, and
So this was better.
this was a much better Christmas.
See,
Day.
and a few days ago, Richard was on with Vince Carter, and we were talking, hey, Vince can still dunk, he can still do it. He said, I can too. So we got visual evidence.
Yeah, I can. I just, like I said, I didn't play much.
All right, we got a lot of Arizona guys on our jump staff. People who watch the show regularly know that. So we had to throw a little U of A into the show here. What were you thinking when you left your feet to block a shot?
Oh, wow, and jumped over
Stanford
the kid.
2001.
You know what it was? I was really jumping for my draft status at that point in time. No, my guard, Jason Gardner, he always had a thing. He knew we were a really good shot blocking team. So he knew just to cut off the guard, and the guard was going to have to shoot some sort of floater. So we had done that defensive play probably a couple times. That was probably the most spectacular one, but that was one that we had done. But I had to give credit to my point guard, Jason Gardner, for head coach at IUPUI, for executing the defensive play and sending the kid to me. But yeah, no, it was fun to send it to the 3rd or 4th row in Stanford. That's when Stanford was one of the best teams in the country. So those games were always big and always fun.
I love how you just flipped the trash talk in. That's when they used to be good. It's too bad they're not anymore.
I know, it's so sad.
Right?
It's really disappointing.
How's Arizona doing though?
Arizona's doing great. We won the pack again. And the
Are we
didn't
talking
do-
about the tournament?
No. But again,
Are we not talking about the
about the
tournament? I don't wanna
tournament
talk
and
about
how
the
you play in the
tournament either.
tournament is like talking about judging the MVP off the playoffs, right? It's just, how's
Everybody
our
says that,
season?
Rachel.
That's
you
what
know.
everybody says. The tournament doesn't matter.
tournament doesn't
Exactly.
matter.
All right, I do got to give you some more block street cred, though, because we have to ask, what were you thinking? This is back in 2004 when you blocked our own Chauncey Billups.
Oh, Chauncey Billups. Honestly, I thought the game was going to be over. But Chauncey ends up hitting a half-court shot shortly after that. But yeah, I thought the game was going to be over. But yeah, oh God, I used to jump, boy. That was the last. It was Baldy versus Baldy even back then. So yeah, I was
You were
hyped.
psyched.
I was hyped because that was the game, right?
Right.
He got through. If he makes that, ties a game. We only made one. I think we made one of the 2 free throws, which ends up, Chauncey then hits a half-court shot.
Mr. Big Shot. That's how he got Mr. Big Shot.
He hit the half-court shot, and we ended up going into like a double overtime or a triple overtime game that night. We still won, but I think they
The
kind
moment got-
of the moment kind of got killed.
I'm so sorry.
I don't know.
Are you guys upset?
We're not
Are you?
really that
No,
upset.
okay, you guys don't care.
No, I do have another moment that got just a little bit killed for you. I'm sorry I got to bring it up, but I do. You dunked all over Michael Gilchrist.
Aw.
This was supposed to be highlight reel, but no offensive
Look
foul.
at it. Offensive foul. To this day, that's probably the worst offensive foul I've ever seen in my life. But one thing that I did is as soon as I dunked it, I saw the ref out of the corner of my eye point offensive. So I just kind of ran and talked a little bit more, yelled at the crowd, just because I knew this was going to be my only moments.
This was it.
You know, I didn't even make top 10. I don't even know if I made top 10 that night. Because
Well, you can't. It's an offensive foul.
That's not true.
Disqualified.
That's entirely not true. Guys fall all the time on a crossover, and if a guy doesn't make the shot, it still makes it.
So I have a question. What is the percentage for an NBA player, and you get called for something, for a foul, of the times when you argue and say no and what and do all of this, which is 100% of the time?
100% of the time.
What percentage do you actually mean it?
For me, I feel like everyone's different. Some guys want to argue every call. Some
Right.
guys are a little bit more. Oh yes, but let's talk about their bench. When I watched it over again, their bench reaction was my favorite. That you could freeze in on people and they're just like wiggling. The look on their face. That's what makes the
You know
dunk.
what is if it counted? Let's just count.
That's what
Man.
makes the
Just
dunk.
retrospectively
It's
count
the
it.
reaction,
Man.
not the reaction from the fans, not like your teammates sometimes, but
the
the reaction
opponent.
from the opponent bench, like, oh, what did we just see? Yeah, that because you know he's going to get it the minute he walks into that locker room. So that's fun. But, you know, the old man has a couple of more highlights left in him.
And we'll ask you again. How many more highlights do you have, Richard Jefferson?
We will see. I feel like this is a highlight for me right now.
Aw.
to be a part of this
Wow, that was
episode
a
and to have-
professional
that was
turn.
professional.
That was
He is good at this. I can see a future.